a video up there online regarding goat's milk. It's very, very good for the health. They say the old people in Ireland used to say that goat's milk was good for asthma and I suppose bronchitis as well and stuff like that, But they probably didn't. I suppose they probably didn't know the real benefits of it, because back in them days, nobody got vaccinated, nobody had antibiotics. They had natural treatments for this, that, and the other. I remember when I was a child, and I think I had a cough or a chest infection. My grandfather wanted to give me a raw egg straight from the hens out in the garden. They weren't kept in cages. They were running around eating grass and I suppose snails and slugs or whatever hens would eat. There you go, a small little drop of goat's milk. I drink it, but it's still warm, so I'll just pause for 2 seconds there. Okay, I'm going to show you how Kefir. This is a batch I had on there a couple of days ago. You can see it's all separated here. I'm not sure what that's called. Is it the Rene or whatever? But it's looking sort of chunky-ish inside. And that's what the Kefir. That's ordinary Kefir now, made with milk from the local co-op, which is probably the best you'll get. I've tried Tesco's milk, it's rubbish, and tried Avonmore and tried a couple of others, and they're not really good enough for making it. This is as local as you can get, okay, for making Kefir. This little batch here, this is a batch I just tried experimenting with. I used some of the Kefir grains, washed them off first, and then I used colostrum, goat's milk colostrum, and I put the Kefir granules into the colostrum, and it's sort of doing something. I'm not sure if it's really doing much, to be honest, but I'll tell you now in a minute. If it tastes absolutely vile, I won't be drinking it too often. But that's pure goat's milk in there, raw, straight from the goat, straight into the jar, in on top of the Kefir granules. Okay, so I'll show you how I do the separation here of it. Now, just straight into the. You'll need one of these plastic colander, sieve or whatever you call it, and just shake it out. It's very chunky. It comes out sort of. Bring them over and show it to you. Sort of comes out like that. Okay, that's how it comes out. And what I do is, a lot of people get very precious about how to make it. Everybody has their own different ways of doing things. This is just done maybe every 3 days. And just rattle it around like that. Just keep shaking it all out. Oops, there's one of them gone. Some people would say that you shouldn't handle it with your fingers, just as I did there, picking it up and throwing it back in the bowl. But hey, look. We learned this kind of art from people who lived in shacks years ago. They didn't live in sterile conditions. They worked with what they had. Now here we go, to show you what the Kefir granules look like. That's what they look like there. Just see if we can see it in the camera. Yeah, you can see it there? Okay. That's what they look like. Okay. They're like little cauliflowers, you could say. And what I do is, some people say you should boil the milk and boil it to sterilize it again. But I never do that. I just fire it straight back in the jar, fill it back straight back up. Yeah, so like so, into the jar. See, you shouldn't use a metal spoon with it either. Just like it is, it's like jelly. It's what the say it's a symbiotic relationship between bacteria and fungus. I'm not sure now, to be honest. I presume there's all sorts of enzyme. Oh, there's one piece gone on the table there, but look, I won't throw that in the jar. Just oops, she's gone again. Straight in there. It's like eating a gummy bear, a milk flavoured gummy bear. Okay, here we go. So shake off all that there. Okay, I'll just pause for 2 seconds. I'll show you what I've got here. Now, comes out like that, separated from the kefir granules. All I do is just stir it up like that. Stir it up. Yeah. Tell you now in a second what it tastes like. Just get a glass and bobby up. There, look at that. Looks like yogurt. Tell you if it tastes like yogurt. Now, some people, it wouldn't be everyone's taste because it can be a little bit sharp, you know. When I say sharp, sort of acidic. Okay. So anyway, here we go. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Bob's your uncle. Now, pause for 2 seconds, and we'll have a look at what the goat's milk kefir looks like. Okay. Now, I meant to say with the granules. Look at that. Look, I didn't even wash it. Okay. Basically, all the good bacteria is in there at the moment. It doesn't want to be disturbed. Leave it alone. Okay. You haven't got all the time in the world to be mucking around, sterilising milk, diddly do that, whatever. Okay, just get it back into the jar. This is what they would have. Just think about what your forefathers would have done. Okay, just get it back into the jar. And what I do is, it's just cold milk straight from the carton. Okay, and straight into the jar here like that. Give it a little swirl around to get the good bacteria in there, moving about in the milk. Give it a swirl. Throw another drop in there, give another bit of a swirl, give it another bit of a swirl. Yeah. There we go. Straight up to the top like that, okay? And as you notice, I didn't even wash the jar. And the reason for that is that you know, when you wash the kefir, you wash the kefir grains, what you're doing is you're washing off all the good bacteria that has been built up. Okay, it's like you're coming and you're knocking someone's house down every time they build it up. Okay, so just maybe leave it alone. Try it if you've got 2 different types of kefir at home, or if you got milk kefir at home, and you do go through that process of washing the kefir in the colander. You know, some people run it under a tap. You know, well, if you're living in a city or a town and you've got chlorinated and fluoridated water, what are you doing? You're chlorinating and you're fluoridating the kefir granules. Leave them alone. Let them do their thing. Okay, they're a little life form of their own. Precious little babies in there. Okay, I'm going to put these fellas away now. Okay, hang on. Okay, part 2. See what this goat's milk kefir. Now this is milk straight from the goat, as I said, and I used washed kefir grains. Now the water I use here is not fluoridated and it's not chlorinated. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier about washing kefir and all that, yeah, just be careful, I suppose. Like, you know, just take it handy, let them alone. Okay, so I'm just gonna fire it in here. You can see me, or they want to see me, or who cares? Anyway, straight out of the jar into the woo. I don't think it seems to like making goat milk kefir. You know, I don't know if it's really even going to take off, but I'll give it another shot, another day or two. Oops, maybe lost some of that. left over here. Okay, that's the Kefir granules. You can see one big jelly mass in there, and I'm just going to fire that into the jar again. There we go, popped in there, and get the fresh goat's milk, not sterilised, all sorts of bacteria in there, good stuff, probably some goat hair as well, and goat whatever, you know, straight into the jar. Now, done. Okay, that's in there. I'll tell you what this other stuff tastes like in a minute. You see my face screwing up, you know. Maybe it won't screw up, but I'll probably pretend it tastes lovely. Here we go. Just get rid of this bottle. Yeah, let's see what this is like. The consistency was a little more gluggy, but it looks alright. I don't know if you can see that there, can you? Yeah. Okay, it's a lot thicker than when it was milk, okay? So, let's see what this tastes like. As I said, this goat's milk kefir that has been sort of experimented was started off with colostrum, goat's milk colostrum. So there should be pretty well powerful gut bacteria in there. Let's see what she tastes like now. Not great. Now in all fairness, she does taste a little bit like sour milk, but hey, who am I to judge? I'm just going to drink it all, okay? Ugh. Yes, that one is a little bit horrible, to be honest. But hey, there might be some benefit. So listen, if I'm still here in a week's time, I'll let you know. Now, as you can see, the table's a bit of a mess here, okay? And I'm going to call my wife to clean it up, okay? Wife! Where are you? See what kind of response I get. Hang on. Just go and look for her, okay? Okay, as you can see, I found her, okay? So, I explained to her what had to be done, and yeah, as you can see, okay, here we go. Okay, with kefir, all you need is, you only need a small amount, like the start of even maybe half the size of a golf ball, or maybe quarter the size of a golf ball to start off. If you know somebody who's got it or who makes it, just ask them. Sometimes people offer this stuff, but it's just treat it with respect. You know what I mean? Like look after it. Don't leave it in the cupboard for too long, otherwise it will go off. Like, you know what I mean? My turnaround on kefir is probably every 3 days. Just leave it in quite cupboard on its own in the dark, and let it do its thing. And Bob's your uncle. You got yourself a natural yogurt if you want to add flavouring to it, like like maybe strawberries, preferably not from some country where they're spraying the living daylights out of the stuff with pesticides and all that kind of stuff. Just try and keep it healthy and natural, okay? And look after, have respect for it, and yeah, Bob's your uncle. You have good kefir, Anyway, okay, toodaloo.